Now that we have a clamp side bottom and a clamp side top, we need to put them together. In SOLIDWORKS, two parts can be put together with an assembly file and then mated together to show how the parts may work together. You can create assembly by going to File, New, where you would also create a new part, and select the second option for assembly, or you can create an assembly from within a part that's already open, like clamp side bottom that we see here. From the File menu, go to Make Assembly from Part. And it'll open into the new assembly. There'll not be anything in the screen yet until we add all the components. Once we insert the bottom part into our assembly, we can go to Save As, and we'll save this as Clamp Assembly with space for your initials. Now we'll add the other component, the top side. We'll go to Insert Components. So as you saw when you started up, clamp side bottom's already inserted, but we need to insert the top as well. So we'll go to Browse. In your student folder, you should find clamp side top. Clamp side top will appear, and you will have to set how these two parts mate together because the computer doesn't assume any orientation. We'll go ahead and tell it to set it by single clicking the clamp side top. Now the next thing we want to do is position these two where they're facing each other so that the two larger sides of the clamps face each other. So we'll click Move Component, and we'll go to Rotate Component. In the Rotate section, we'll change this rotation setting from free rotation to by delta XYZ. This allows us to actually specify degrees we want it to rotate. Basically, we want to flip this over so that the two larger sides are facing each other. So we'll flip this on the x-axis, which we can see here and here, by 180. So we'll select the top here, and you'll notice it rotates, but the two backs are facing each other, or the two smaller sides are facing each other. So we'll want to move again to make these two positioned. So they're oriented the right way, but they need to be positioned correctly. And so to do this, we'll go to the Move portion, and I'll go to Free Drag, which allows us just to freely move these. And once we're selected, we should just be able to move it. And then you'll see these two. Zoom out just a little bit so you can see, but these two are positioned alongside each other. So now we need to mate these two. We'll accept the move settings by clicking the green check, and then we'll go to Mate. Now, the mate settings are set up geometrically so that we will select faces or sides or points and describe the geometric relationship between those two. So we'll select this face here, and then we'll select the similar face in the opposite part. It'll make these coincident. Click the green check to add the mate. But you notice all that it did at this point is just make sure that these two faces kind of occupy the same space. We need to add some more mates to properly orient it. So the next mates we will select, you can free navigate around slightly, and we'll select this hole, and then we'll select this face here, and I'll select and those we'll make those concentric. And so now it's even further. So we see there's still some overlap here, but this hole here is lined up, and these two faces are positioned approximately. After I Click the green check, the mates are added, and notice you can move this part, but it's restricted that both of these faces here remain parallel, and that this hole, either the edge and the face or the two edges, are both concentric, so that it can only move towards each other and in this exact orientation, which is how we want the clamp to operate. The first part that you added is going to be attached to the source, but this part will be able to move. And we'll specify more settings to put these in place once we add fasteners. And save your project, and we'll look at adding fasteners. It'll ask me if I would like to rebuild the document, and you can accept that.